Today we're actually talking about how to make commitments that stick. Now this is a problem for me in my life for a while. I'd let my body get out of control. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't exercising. Smoking weed all the time, you know. Yeah. I had a commitment to being average at that time that I needed to break, right? And
so you're saying you didn't really have a commitment problem?
No, yeah, I did have. I did not have a commitment problem.
You
it was
were
what I was committed to.
Yeah, interesting. He says he changed his thinking from, because I hear a lot of people say, "Man, I can't commit to anything." I'm like, well, no, dude, you are committed to a bunch of stuff. So don't disavow that you can't be committed. That's what I talk about in Obsessed. Addiction wasn't the problem.
Yep.
Being obsessed wasn't the problem. I could be obsessed just with the wrong thing. So go ahead.
So like when I was at that point where I was like, oh my God, I don't look good, I don't feel good, you know, my life isn't where I wanted to go. You know, I got to a point where I really had to make a decision. You know,
How old were you at this point?
25.
Uh-huh.
Probably
where
20.
were you?
20. This was 23. This was before I moved.
Okay.
And I was like, I got to get out of this environment. You know, I gotta get out of this environment. I moved to Texas with my parents, and you know, kind of got my shit
You moved
together.
to
Texas?
Yeah, because I was with
with
your parents at 23, man.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mama.
Gotta get out. I gotta get out.
Now, I bet you had to leave Mama though again to get your commitment refocused.
Yeah, so I moved out.
Yeah,
I lived, and then I moved to Texas, and I moved in with them, and then I moved back to California.
So, and why the move? Why the move?
Because
so you knew you were
I knew
committed.
that the environment that I was in, because of the friends I was hanging out with and how important that was to me, I knew that environment was going to be really, really hard for me to give up the commitments that I had that were non-productive.
So you know what I'm hearing Jared say, and what I hope everybody, because I know I can relate to this in my life. I never had a commitment problem. It was what I was committed to that was the problem. Okay, addiction was not my problem. I know a lot of you are reading Be Obsessed or Be Average right now, and you hear me share a story that I've not shared in the other books about, you know, I was addicted to drugs from 16 to 25. Now the treatment center and the counselor said my problem was I was a drug addict. I was powerless. That I would
Disease. It was a disease.
You got to date, dog. You got to date. I said I got to date. I got a disease. Okay. And the truth is I didn't have a disease, dude. Obsession and addiction weren't the problem. You were genetically inclined to be addictive personality. You have the propensity. And I'm like, how would you? Because if we go back in your tree, your lineage, we're going to find drug addicts. Yeah, dude, if I go back in any family, I'm going to find a drug addict. Okay? I'm going to probably find a master to a slave. I'm going to find a slave. I'm going to find some losers and some winners.
And then maybe, just maybe, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to find a creme. I'm going to find some criminals. I'm going to find some judges, some politicians. I'm going down to tubes.
Maybe
going down
maybe a gangster.
I might find, who knows?
Maybe Pontius Pilate. He was a bad dude back in the day. Yeah.
Okay. But the point is, the addiction wasn't the problem, Matthew. You out of the Bible. Yeah. The addiction, the addictive characteristic wasn't. Everybody can be an addict, dude. Everybody can be committed. Everybody can hustle. Everybody can work hard.
The laziest person that you ever could meet in your life
is committed,
addicted to lazy,
and committed.
Yeah.
They have the propensity to be committed to what? To lazy. Dude, it's a lot of work to be lazy. Okay? So we're going to map out today, how do you get committed? Commitment is what we're talking about. What does it mean to be committed? How do you do it?
Yep. So we were talking about commitments, and you know, one of the things that Grant said, I think you actually said this in the Mastering Objections live web training that we did. I think that's where we got this. But he said, in order for a commitment to be a true commitment, it has to be followed by resources, money, and time, right? If you can't commit time and money to a commitment, it's not a real commitment.
It's not a commitment. I said, man, are you committed? Yeah, oh yeah, we're committed to training. Really? Well, how much time do you spend doing it?
And how much have you spent on it?
And how much money have you spent? Well, that's a good question.
1 day a week.
We do 1 day a week.
Yeah.
We just had a group that came in here, and I was doing a coaching session with them for 30 minutes. And they said, how often should we do this? Dude, if it's worth doing,
do it every day.
Now, the question is, how much money are you going to spend on it? Well, that's good. Look, because if you cannot quantify time and money, where you quantify, where you push your time and money is where you get results. So if you're committed to a marriage working, the question to ask is this: how much time and how much money? Well, we don't spend any time or money on it. Then you're not committed. Elena asked me a question yesterday. How much time do we talk? Just one. I said, probably not enough. Because it reminded me, dude, if my commitment, what's your commitment to self-improvement? Is it just wandering into YouTube?
Yeah,
that's not a commitment,
totally.
dude. That's wanderers. That's a guy. That's what we talked about in the morning meeting this morning. The guy that's shopping,
wanderer,
the wanderer.
Yeah.
See, a lot of
The 5 types of buyers.
the 5 types of buyers. See, what's a buyer? A wanderer is not committed to buying something. I don't wander. When I go to the mall, dude, I go straight in.
Intention.
I know what I want.
Pick up what I want if
not
I even
waste
go
time.
there.
I hate the mall.
If I even go there, why not just call it in, have it sent? That's a commitment, right? The wanderer is the one that gets in trouble. This is the shopper. They go over budget.
They can be influenced to different things at different moments, at different times.
So watch the value, man. When you can build this skill, people are like, dude, how do you get so much done? Commitment, followed by time and money. We were having a meeting yesterday.
Yep.
Guys, follow the money. I tell Jared and Sherry, do what I do. Look at that financial statement. Okay? Why do I say that? It's not because I'm greedy, dude. It's because I'm committed to getting my money right.
Right.
Follow the money. Where are we putting our time on that financial statement? Okay? If you're building a business, starting a business, if you got a sales practice, you got a chiropractor, dentist, plumbing business, whatever your business is, where does the money come from? How much time and how much energy is spent? So when your CFO comes, we need to cut here. We need to not spend money on these items here. You need to be like, dude, you're the one reporting what we did,
Right.
not telling us what to do. Would that apply to diets?
Yep.
Dude, you're looking trim right now, man.
I used to weigh 200 pounds. Swear to God.
So when you commit to that suit, does it force you to stay trim?
Yeah, so that's like that was
the open.
that's a good little
Segue back.
Yeah, so a lot of times you know the
getting better at
you know the commitment you want to make, right? Whether it's health or whatever. Like sometimes for me it is clothes. Like if I go and I try on a suit and I'm like, man, this suit, it looks good, it feels good, but
It's tight.
if I go a little bit the wrong way, it ain't gonna fit anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'll,
'Cause you're like,
I'll throw down $500 or $600 for the
Yeah,
suit and be
yeah.
like, now it's on me to make sure that works.
Yeah, I had a suit made for me recently. My Italian friend made a suit for me, and the first time, and jacket fits good, but the pants were a little tight, dude. And the first time I went out, I split the back. First thing I did was, son of a bitch, show me something bad. But you know what? When I went home that night, I'm like, that ain't about him, dude. I mean, really, it's about. And I'm like, I got back in the gym that morning.
Yeah.
I got back in the gym. So he's saying.
What I'm saying
Follow it.
is sometimes you have to use time and resources to drive your commitment rather than your commitment requiring time and resources. So like the fellow that was just saying that he, he's like, I'm committed to self-improvement,
Yeah.
but
I go to YouTube.
I go to YouTube every day.
It's a good idea, man. I mean, I can't condemn anybody for going to YouTube to look for stuff, but you're wandering. You have no commitment.
Right.
You need a commitment followed by time and money. Like if you just use this definition, the definition in the definition place, an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom or action. That is a definition of commitment. Okay. The state or quality being dedicated to a cause, activity. That's very esoteric. Yeah, I think I'm dedicated. Dude, the second part of it, an engagement or an obligation
yeah.
that restricts freedom of action. So when he buys that suit, he is restricted. Like he could buy 8 suits like that. You know what he's gonna be reminded of every day of the week? Dude, I gotta lose 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay? I bought that jet because I was committed to freedom. And I couldn't get that from Netflix.
Right.
And the reason I couldn't, and by the way, everybody in the aviation business would tell you, dude, you should just lease the jet. That way you can call up, hey, I need a jet, 24 hours. The problem for me is because I watch money so closely, and you know this about me,
Yeah, 100%.
that I knew, because the way I am,
If it was 30 grand for the plane or a $2,000 first class ticket, you'd buy the first class ticket or you wouldn't go.
if it was $2,000, 30 grand, if it's $2,000 for a trip, that's one thing. If it's 30 grand to fly the plane across country, for me, that's not a commitment. That's just stupid. But if I chunk down 10 million and I got to take care of that bird and I got to have 2 pilots, I know this doesn't make any sense. I mean, if it makes sense to you, you're thinking in the right levels. I'm going to spend 10 million. I'm going to put a shelter for it. I'm going to have 2 pilots. I got to have an 8-year check every 8 years, costs about $400,000 or $500,000. I got to pay for. I mean, you understand? The commitment now is what? It's so serious that I look for times when I can use that plane. And it forces me to deliver at another level. I wasn't brought up like this. I was brought up on the other way. Don't ever commit time and resources.
And that's, I think, it never made sense to me, but like I've heard sales managers before say, man, the best salespeople are the ones that are buried in debt. Because they go out and hey, look, what can I do to increase? Dude, go out and spend a bunch of money and get in debt.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So
there is some truth to that, but that guy will tap out once he covers his debt. That's the problem with that game.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote the Millionaire booklet and Playbook to Millions. That's why we put all of our content on digital downloads for you to grab it on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Look, we want you committed. We want you winning. You know I do. I'm here every day. A commitment has to be backed by time and money, right, Robert? Yes, sir. So what did we say? We had one show a week here, and I said, hey guys, I need a studio. Build it.
They will.
And I don't know if they will come, but I know what? I'm going to come.
We will be here every day.
I'll be here every day.
Filming.
We did one show.
We started out with the Cardone Zone on Fridays.
On Fridays.
Every day.
And then we added Young
I
Hustlers.
couldn't imagine doing Fridays. I'm like, you think I'm going to be able to do a show every Friday? Right? Remember that?
I remember the whole deal.
Okay. So what we do at this show is, man,
Playing around on the days of the week. Is it going to be Thursday? What about Wednesday? Maybe Tuesday?
And then Jared's like, why don't we add a show? Man, are we going to be able to do a show Thursday and Friday? It's so much. I got so much going on. How am I going to do that? Now I do a show Mondays on real estate, Tuesdays on book reviews, Wednesdays me and my wife do a show, me and Jared do a show today, and tomorrow I do the Cardone Zone. Plus 3 other shows that we drop every week, Power Players, Network Marketing, and Ask a Pro. Okay? Commitment. Number 1, clarify. What is the commitment? Be sure, Jared said it earlier, everybody can commit. Everybody. Don't quit lying to yourself. I can't commit. You're already committed to making excuses. Listen to what you're saying. I can't commit. You committed to being fat. You already committed, man. If you fat, that's right, I said it, fatso. I can say fatso. You know why?
Fatty Patty.
Because I've been fatty patty, and I hated it. Right? Jared's been fatso. He said it earlier. He said 200 pounds, but that's code for fatso. I hate myself. So I'm going to keep stacking and packing.
Did not feel good. Did not feel good at all. It was not a great feeling at all.
Dude, there's no way you could get in that suit, right?
No, dude, no way.
So look, you guys got to just call it what it is. You're a drug addict, call it a drug addict. You're a quitter, call it a quitter. You're committed to quitting, man. You excuse maker, call it what it is.
You could be something even worse. Something you don't even notice it's happened. You could be committed to average.
Yeah, exactly. You're making $200,000 a year and you could be making $2 million? Dude, you're just a satisfier. You satisfied. You're committed to being satisfied. You're selfish is what it is.
That's true.
If you can make $2 million and you're making $200,000, you're a selfish, self-centered,
if you can,
self-absorbed.
You must.
If you can, you must, I say. If you can, you must. What am I committed to, man? And it changes, by the way, because what if you make your first $1 million?
Well, and you mentioned that before, and I was going to say, when I was listening to Obsess, you talked about how you were committed first just to getting off drugs.
Yeah.
And then you were committed to making $60,000.
Yeah.
And then you were committed to making 6 figures. And then you were committed to going back and replacing your 6-figure income.
Yeah.
And then you were committed to getting 20 units. And then you were, your commitments, as your potential grew, so did the commitment.
And I watch my little girl right now learn how to ride a bike, man. And she's like, I said, baby, see if you can pedal faster. She can't even imagine. This is the problem that everybody needs to understand. The commitment you make today with the skills you have, this is why Cardone U is so important. The commitments you're making right now are based on the skills you think you have. Expand those skills, and the next thing you'll be like, when you're.
This is it right here.
You know what I was going to do right here?
I
remember fishing as a kid, and I'd throw it out there, and I thought, man, if I could just throw it 20 feet, and then somebody showed me how to throw it 100 feet. I was like, damn.
You said. I was just listening to this yesterday. You said, if you don't know what your potential is, how can somebody else tell you what you're capable of?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't even know what your own potential is,
Yeah.
how can somebody else?
So
and then
I-
how can you get committed to something that you're not even aware of?
Yeah, and then if you're not in control, like I can go 80 miles an hour in the car, it doesn't bother me any at all. It bothers Elena. She goes 80 miles when she's driving, 80 miles an hour, doesn't bother either one of us. Okay, you understand the difference? She's in control. She knows she can go 80 without wrecking the car. She's not sure I can. So look, your commitment has to be followed up with resources, time and money. And by the way, you have to train to push out that what you think
skill
you
and the
can do.
potential.
I know people in relationships that are freaking killing both parties. Both sides are dying, dude. And they committed. So I don't think you have to like something to be committed to. I think people are already committed to a whole bunch of stuff. I think people are committed to stuff they don't even want to do. People watch politics, they don't even want to watch it. They hate it and they watch it, right? People go through ads, watch ads, they don't even like the ads. So people watch TV and don't even like the TV. I mean, I think people are committed. I think everybody has a propensity to be committed.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to commit to some stuff you don't want to do to get to the stuff you do want to do. You know,
Everything that you don't want to do that's productive, somebody else isn't willing to do it either. And
Yeah.
if there's a deficiency of people that are willing to do that thing, then there's inherent value in that activity, and you need to figure out how to do that.
I know people that want to buy real estate, but they don't want to deal with the phone calls. They're like, I don't want anybody calling me. Well, then you're probably not gonna. You probably shouldn't own any real estate, because if you have an occupancy, that means Jared actually rents from you. He may need to call you from time to time. Okay, so you guys got to be willing to take on big giant problems. You're committed. Let's get you committed to the right things. Let's back it up with some time and some money. If you're not willing to give it time and money, it's because you spend your time and your money on the wrong things. If you don't have enough money, you need to get your money right, which is you need to quit hating on the revenue thing, which is about sales, okay? Now, we got solutions for you at my store. We don't do this show just to do this show. We do this show because we want to help you, right, Jared?
That's right. And I actually want to give you a few tips that I
Tip
have
them out,
used,
dog.
to help with commitment.
Tip them out.
The first thing that you have to do is you have to decide what it is that you want to be committed to.
All right, let's just walk me through, man. I want to lose 5 pounds.
All right, so Grant wants to be committed to losing 5 pounds.
I know.
The next thing that you have to do, I like expectations. I like to know what I'm going to run up against.
How fast do you think I could lose 5 pounds?
3 days.
3 days? Without doing enemas?
Yeah.
I got to do enemas?
Dude, my weight.
5,
Yeah, dude, for sure.
100%.
I can lose 5 pounds in 3 days?
3
Totally.
to 5 days, depending on how committed you are.
Oh, I'm committed. I'm going to lose 5 pounds in 3
So
days. How do I do that? Without getting sick, though.
So here,
I don't want to get sick.
so what you want.
Yeah.
Number 2, what you need to give up.
Yeah, okay. Sugar, I got to give up sugar, cookies, cakes, right?
Cookies, candy,
All the sugar stuff.
all the sugar
I can do
stuff.
that for 5
Okay.
days.
So what you want,
3 days, she said.
what you need to give up. What are you going to do to reinforce your commitment every day?
Does sex burn calories?
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
I can't go very long.
Me neither.
You either? I'm just keeping it real, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really like 3 steps, dude. What do you
But
want?
where's the time and money?
What do you?
Do I reinforce?
Oh, and then
the
what
time and money?
do you?
Maybe I buy a coach to help me
reinforce
for the
it
next
daily?
3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe I buy a coach. Maybe I rent a coach for 3 days. And, yeah. Huh? Okay, good. Hey, you guys got some takeaways, some great takeaways.